training in Mari Channa Reddy Institute. It's an administrative training institute belonging to the government of Telangana. So we have made our application under the category skill development, training and capacity building. We are trying to tell a story how we converted this COVID-19 crisis into an opportunity. Under the Government of India's lockdown measures, we are still partially open. That is, when every other institute has been relaxed, educational and training institutions continue to have partial lockdown. This was the challenge before us. Yes, there is a demand for training, but how do we meet it when the government lockdown measures are only permitting partial functioning? Next. This is about our institute. It was established in 1976. That is, what you see below is that 40 years when we had completed it, we had a torch there consisting of two lotuses opposite. It shows a torch. The red color are the two lotuses. It appears as a torch, and that is our motto. Our motto is exchange of knowledge and wisdom. Just a moment, Pele. We are a 33-acre campus right in the heart of Hyderabad, Jubilee Hills, totally green. We have 450 single rooms, 16 suites. We have tennis court, basketball, volleyball courts, indoor badminton courts, table tennis hall, swimming pool, gyms, separate for ladies and gents. This is the infrastructure which we could not use. I mean, in one way I'm crying that because of the partial lockdown, the great infrastructure which we had, we were not able to use it. Come next. But this is what we were able to do. Yes, we were not able to use the infrastructure. During this period, we have trained 10,935 participants. If you look at the numbers, the Tribal Welfare Department has 2,044 participants. In 14 batches, approximately 150 people, total days involved 42. Again, if you look at it, the second is the Group 2 officers who have joined the state government. There is a 40-day foundation course for them, 477 officers. Again, 2,500, this was done for the intermediate education. Because once the intermediate education started, you know, we have a problem of suicides in intermediate after the results are declared. So student counselors had to be trained in the counseling skills. So 7 batches, each batch 2 days. But I would like you to focus on the 50 days program. This is the special foundation course for All India Service Officers. We did a virtual program for 50 days for 142 participants. And that is where the technical challenge was the maximum. I would like to tell you that this much training we could not do even during the regular training. The advantage of online training is the numbers is very large. We are able to reach large numbers. Next. I told you about our campus. It is a verdant green campus. Labasna, Mussoorie, has selected us as a partner academy for All India Services and Central Services, that is IPS, revenue service, customs, all those who get selected in civil services examination, except the IAS and the foreign service who only do it Labasna, all other services are shared. And we have been doing since 2008. So about 12 years. And we have conducted 14 foundation courses. That is, besides the normal foundation courses, backlog foundation courses for people who have missed out are also conducted by us. I'm talking about this course, which was started on 3rd February, special foundation course for 142 officers. We had police service officers, forest service officers, postal service, PNT accounts, trade service, 5 services. Started on 3rd February, supposed to get completed on 15th May. Government of India announced lockdown on March 25th. Next. That was the challenge. What do we do? Now, adversity is inevitable. I would like to tell you the challenge that we faced and the challenge which Labasna and the National Police Academy, how they handled it. Labasna also had an online program going. They continued in the campus mode. The officer participants continued in the campus mode. Training was delivered online. They stayed in their rooms. They did not go to the mess. Food was delivered to the rooms. And online classes through their desktops, they used to participate. But it was a campus mode. They could not move out of their rooms. In our case, no one had an idea how severe is the pandemic. Government shortlisted our institute as a quarantine center. So we had no choice. We sent all the officer trainees back home even before lockdown, transportation became a problem. They had one day there was a special program by Prime Minister Ji. After 2 days, lockdown was announced. So before that one-day program, we sent everyone. So 50 days of training was conducted in campus mode. Trek was conducted. Village visit was conducted. Athletic meet was conducted. But there were a lot of other group activities like Fate, India Day, cultural event. Then the presentations, group presentations, they had to be done. Now all of them had gone home, and the remaining 50 days is what we had to do, virtual training. Next. Why I had selected this course for presentation to the jury here, it's my great honor to speak to the jury here. I presented here because the challenge was more. It was just not academic sessions. We also had to ensure interaction, bonding between the people. The whole idea of the foundation course is to build unity, a commitment towards each other and towards the nation. So this is how we went about. Classroom sessions, we used WebEx, I think, for conducting virtual sessions. My colleague will go into greater detail about it. This is another special thing which we could do. Udemy is an international online company which offers 4,000 online courses by top-notch professionals. We procured Udemy license for all our participants, and we created a learning path for all the trainees. They were given mandatory courses to complete. That was the second part which we did. Third, we had our own e-learning modules, basically on computer skills. So those e-learning modules were used. That was the third component. Fourth, since most of the practitioners were operating from their home, we focused on giving assignments. So every week we used to give 2 assignments. We used to give 2 case studies, give assignments based on those case studies. The classroom session covered the case studies, so that the participants were locked into the classes. It ensured their interest, it ensured whether they were queued into the class, and it also ensured that they actually learned practical skills, which is the purpose of the course. My colleague Shri Devi, Director IT from MCR HRD, I'll request her to continue with the presentation. So thank you. My colleague will continue.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, jury. Continuing with the presentation, I would like to talk about the strategies we have adopted for virtual training. So initially, like when we have a face-to-face training, we generally walk into the class and then give the information, whatever is required for the trainees to understand and all that. So we had to actually heavily depend on the technology here. So we have used social media like WhatsApp group and all that to give the instant messages. Then we had Google groups where we had to send them huge files where they had to perform and do some assignments. We have our own training management system in which we used to post all the PPTs and the reading material required for the session beforehand only, so that they come prepared to the class, and post the sessions. After the lecture sessions, we used to also send them the recorded video. So we used to post them on our Teams training management system so that it is available centrally for all the participants. Then there were group assignments, which I'll talk about later. Then we have the compulsory learning hours. As already sir has mentioned that, you know, we have given them the access to two learning management systems. We have our own learning management system, which we call Telangana e-learning management platform, in which we have few modules on soft skills and language skills and computer skills. And then we have also procured licenses on Udemy, where these is a specialized courses for the government. We have identified a few courses and made it mandatory for them to learn. So there was a learning path, and we used to monitor that everybody is doing it or not. And then we also had chat tools. Of course, chat tools are available with all the web tools, and they had customized assessments. When we say customized assessment, each topic which was dealt in the class, that used to be supported by a case study. And assessments are based on the case study, where the trainees had to actually analyze those case studies and post the assessments. So that way we have ensured that, you know, the classroom attendance. Now, a special mention about the virtual events. As sir has already mentioned that, you know, there is a lot of weightage for academic as well as the non-academic portion of the foundation course, because it is equally important to develop the esprit de corps and then camaraderie in participants. So these events are mandatory. So they also carry marks and all that. So they had to pass in these events as well. And that was a question, and that was a big task for us. How do we conduct these events online? So we have, that way we have conducted almost all, in fact, maybe a few more events online. So the events which were conducted online are virtual presentations. Before the lockdown, the trainees have already gone to trek visit and village visit and all that, but they could not present it after they come back, which is also a mandatory assessment. So what we have done is they are formed into groups at different locations. They had to collaborate, collate the whatever the pictures, videos, everything they have gathered, and then develop a PPT and present it. And it was conducted seamlessly. So, you know, the reviewers also didn't feel that they were talking from 10 different locations, because each group had 10 officer trainees. So no one felt that they were actually talking from 10 different locations. It was seamless and it was absolutely well presented. Then other activities which we have conducted are like Civil Services Day, Army Symposium, FET Mela, We Shall Overcome Creativity Contest, India Day, and Utsav cultural evening. So I'm going to show you some glimpses of these events. Like this is pertaining to India Day, where they had to wear their traditional attires and then perform some traditional dances, or the traditional cuisines and all that. So they had, if we can see that on the top we have pictures from Rajasthan, representing top and bottom right are from Rajasthan. Then we have in the middle UP, Bihar and Madhya Pradesh and other places. Then we have extreme left, we can see from Kerala and from Tamil Nadu. So everybody has actually participated very eagerly in spite of, it's not a face-to-face event, but and we can actually see some photographs with the family. So the best part is even the family was engaged and family also participated in these events. So it actually was very fun-filled and very overwhelming response we had. And this is about the cultural evening which we have done. So we can see that, people are performing from their own places. So again, there are respective dances and all those things. So it was actually a 3.5-hour event, very well organized, choreographed, everything. So they managed everything offline. Like they got in touch with each other, they managed everything, and then they have done. So this way, actually, the purpose of those events, that camaraderie, building the camaraderie and all those things were achieved. And we can see one photograph, extreme right. This is a part of the creative photograph context we have done. So this is about the India Day. If we can see that, in the right side picture, we have one lady officer sitting with Batukama, which is typical of Telangana festival, where a flower decoration is prepared. Then we also have the right side, we can see some photographs from Rajasthan. So this is how they have actually dressed up in their own homes and then performed and made this event successful. And they all participated with whole heart. And there are certain paper coverage also in these events, which was very well appreciated. Now, because of this, because of the virtual training, the boundaries are erased. We generally call all the eminent personalities across India for this program because it's a very high profile training program. But here we could even call from abroad. We could invite dignitaries from abroad. So one such example we are showcasing here, Dr. Narendra V. Rao from Northeastern University of Illinois, USA. In spite of the time gaps and this thing, he actually addressed the participants, and it was very well appreciated that we could bring in eminent personalities across the globe. And we have some more pictures which was also actually published in the paper, that the pictures which show on the right side, we have Raj Shekharan in the middle, who is from Tamil Nadu. He is a veteran in filmmaking, award-winning filmmaker. Then we have Anil Swaroopji. There is a retired bureaucrat, senior bureaucrat. So we have several photographs, and we have actually called a lot of eminent personalities across India and abroad, and it was well organized.
Ma'am, please conclude your presentation.
This is self-explanatory. We have given the feedback, so you can actually see I don't have to talk much about it. So how the officer trainees perceive this course, the feedback is showing. And this is the valedictory function. Actually, this is the photograph. If you can see that this is the group of 142 officers. And they were actually sent back. So they have attended the virtual training from across different locations. And the valedictory function, again, virtually conducted, was attended by former Governor RBI, Sri Subba Rao, and then Additional Secretary DOPT. And right side, we have our picture of our DG, Sri VP Acharya. So a course that started in classroom has concluded virtually and with, I think, good impact. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, this, your institute is quite popular. In fact, I have personally visited a couple of times when Ashwini Parida was there. Then after being advisor to the Planning Commission, one time I utilized your institute imparting training and generating awareness about sub-plan strategies involving various trades. But given the situation, the challenges and the extraordinary, time, you have somehow maintained the tempo and also carried out the activity in such a way that is not only projecting and demonstrating the vitality, but also making at the same time very safe way of doing it. So it's a good thing, but you see, this is altogether because you have needed infrastructure within it, as was rightly told by, spoken by the earlier speaker. Now, since it's a in-home activity, but some of these activities are also being carried out by some other institutes in different ways. But what is so much distinction in the given situation of COVID that we will like to say, if I have to say something, look at the Chinnareddy HRD Institute in Jubilee Hills of Hyderabad and how it has done this and how could this could be adapted elsewhere in a very aptly. Can you reflect on that?
Yeah. See, you are very right. This has been done by other institutes, and there are a large number of good training institutes who have done this work. They've all risen to the occasion. Let us congratulate everyone who has risen to this crisis. We had this difficulty that the people had to go to their respective homes. So in other colleges, they maintained their participants in the same campus. Here they were participating from the home. So yes, we sent them to their respective homes because our institute was shortlisted for quarantine center. So we had to send all and we sent it before the lockdown happened actually. 25th ke pehle, 23rd ko we sent them. So what was the issue was, how do we keep them engaged? How do we ensure that they not logging in was physically, they may log in, but are they mentally present? When we are actually face to face, when we interact, we know whether the person is listening to us or not listening to us. Here we are doing online sessions and we have to depend. So we try to innovate in the sense that we try to create assignments. We totally shifted the pedagogy. More on case studies, more on pedagogy. So this is innovation which we had to do. Then we use that online portal, the Udemy. So there we created a learning path and then we ensured some questions were asked on that. So the whole effort was to ensure their participation. That is what we tried to do because the people were away. And then we also wanted to ensure camaraderie. My colleague mentioned, virtual events. So people participating from different centers, they created a very unique event where all of them are speaking. It looked like they are at one place, but actually they are at 5 places. All of them 5 are participating, but virtually it looks like that all 5 are together at one place. So they also showed their technology interest. I mean, what I found is that our participants, they also showed technology sophistication by creating programs, events, where they interacted virtually and presented it in an online fashion in a seamless way. So it was a challenge to the participants. It gave them an opportunity to exhibit their skills. So that I think was the slightly different thing which we did from compared. But let me tell you, I have nothing to say about the other institutions. They are doing very well. We have full respect for them. And I don't want to say anything bad about them. I'm only trying to say that we had to innovate because people were at home. We had to get their attention. And the participants had to talk to each other through electronic means and present programs electronically because none of them could meet each other. So one credit to the participants and one credit to us so that we could engage them. That's all.
So you got them into conference mode.
I agree with you that virtual training is not a very big thing. Everybody is doing. In fact, for many years, foreign universities are conducting online courses which people are participating. So there is no great thing about that. What is your beauty in your training program for this is you have created training of group meets or group participation and group events, which is done on virtual space as if it is done in the same. which is the innovative idea. And I think for that, the training, the course, um, the designer of the course, as well as the students who could rise to the occasion, both are equally to be praised. So I feel that group events and those presentations, those are the USP for you, because one-to-one training or one-to-many training is not a very novel thing which is happening. Everybody is doing it. But these group meets and the team events are something you have to excel at. I must congratulate you.
Thank you. You're right, ma'am. You have noticed it correctly. That was and I think, as you rightly said, the credit has to be given to the participants,
Yes.
because until and unless they interacted, it would not have come across. The initiative was done by them. We only facilitated it.
Both ways. It also goes to the course coordinator, because the idea has to be generated there.
No, but you have developed a very aptly pedagogy to get people together and involve them.
Isme, I don't know whether hashtag, sorry.
Okay, I mean, it's very, good job you have done, because utilizing the facilities in a very creative way, an innovative way, that's just commendable, in fact.
Isme, another thing I just by the side, when the participants were at home, so lockdown was there, many participants, like there was an IPS officer from Bengal, from Maharashtra, he was serving in Bengal. So he said this was the time, 50 days time, when he could spend in his own village. 50 days after joining the IPS. So, he organized lot of activities, sensitivity about COVID, a lot of other social activities he organized in the village. He had a desire to do something for his own village. So by ability to stay in his own village, he said he could do a lot, connect with the villagers, organize the villages, create quarantine centers, even social awareness they created on several issues.
So he started delivering on what he is supposed to be doing in his career.
He's supposed to do in Bengal, but he had a desire to do something for his home village, his village where he came from. But that fellow, that IPS boy, is now getting into IAS because recently got selected in his rank improved. Then there was some people, I must say, ye bhi kya hota hai na, ghar mein parents were there, so some alliances also got fixed.
Good thing happening.
Thank you, Mr. Singh.
Side benefits of pandemic.
Thank you, Mr. Singh, for your beautiful presentation.